butter. That's what the French got right. Have fats, fibers, and proteins first in the morning, and then have a sweet treat.
He was like, Barbara, Barbara, had it up. Barbara, Teddy da. Yes. Teddy da. And he was talking about Barbara Bush.
Bourbon sour. This is a flirtini. It's non-alcoholic, and then a tequila.
Hello and welcome back to another vlog. In this one we are going to Paris, but not before I had a busy week ahead, including a Tribeca Film Festival event from the Creative Contagion. There was an Audible listen called What Could Go Wrong that's coming out, and there was a nice event and panel, food and drinks, as well as an opportunity to use a little AI agent that they made. And I had a really good time there. And then for the rest of the week, I was busy with work, getting ready, packing and everything. And I also, once the sky opened up after having a rough week of weather, got to go for a nice run down in Brooklyn Bridge Park. I'm really happy to be picking up running again, so that was really exciting. I didn't have too bad of a time, and I'm actually still continuing to do it. So yeah, let's get into this week.
Hello and welcome back to another vlog. This is another one of our summer dispatches as I prepare to leave the country. It is June 19th, aka Juneteenth here in the States. So it's now a federal holiday, so I have the day off, but it's also the day that I'm leaving for Paris. I'm going to Paris to see Beyoncé, hang out with my friends, celebrate one of my friends' birthday, and go to Paris for the first time. It has also been super rainy and cloudy and just so muggy and damp in the city. Ugh, I hated it. And yesterday afternoon, the sky finally opened up. I actually went for a little run. I've been doing a lot of walks. You all might not know this about me, but I was a distance runner for like a lot of my life. When I was younger, my mom and my aunt were runners in our hometown. They would run on Flagler in West Palm Beach. And we started going when we were old enough, and running just stuck with me. It did not stick with my sister or my cousins that went with us. We all have our own things, but like running really stuck with me, specifically like distance running. So I ran cross country in high school, and then in my personal life as a fitness regimen, I just would always run. And I stopped running, I feel like, I would say around pandemic time, because I would even run after I had knee surgery in 2017. And yeah, I just gotten away from it. And recently I was telling some friends, I'm like, I really want to start running again. Doing distance running. I've done a half marathon before. I qualified for the New York, well, I not qualified. I got into the New York City Marathon via the lottery one year, but I didn't train properly and I hurt myself. So I just didn't go, and I never signed up again. But you know, I'm like, I just want to get back into running. It doesn't have to turn into me doing a marathon or another half marathon or anything. I don't even have to do races. I would be just as happy just kind of getting back into it and building that endurance. Like I want to be in really good shape for a really long time. So, and running is just great. I think it's a great mental exercise, and you get to see a lot of great things and get outside. I don't like running on the treadmill. I like running outside. So yeah. Either way, I went for a run. I did a 5K yesterday. I had to run walk. It was like 45 minutes for 3.15 miles, which not bad, girly pop, not bad. So I would love to shave some time off of that. Maybe like 7 minutes shaved off of that or something like that. We'll see. But either way, because the sky finally opened up yesterday, I decided to go for a run. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I am preparing to go outside, which means I need to put on moisturizer and sunblock because the sun is out now, y'all. I use the Laneige water bank as my daily moisturizer. I've also made my boyfriend start using this. He loves it. I also would do, hold on, let me show you. I also would use a serum most times. This Good Molecule serum with the Laneige. I didn't do it today because I feel like it doesn't mix well with the sunblock. I might be wrong, but I'm using Copper Tone Face Sunblock in a stick form. I also have a pump form of it, but this is the Copper Tone Face 55 Hydrating Every Tone. So I have their Every Tone in like the body that I'm going to put on as well, but I like Copper Tone. Like the Every Tone does go on without a cast. I've tried a couple different, ones, but Copper Tone Face, I've liked a lot. And there used to have a Copper Tone Face in a different like format that wasn't the Every Tone years ago, and they stopped making it, or they stopped carrying it here in the States or whatever. And I really liked it then, but I like specifically for the face because sunblock will burn your eyes. Sunblock will burn, if it gets into your eyes, sunblock will burn your eyes. So I like to have a face when I feel like that's less harsh on the eyes. And yeah, you need to be wearing sunblock, especially during the warmer months, but they say all the time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and say, I wear it all the time, faithfully, I'm so good at it, I'm perfect. I really don't. It's mostly during the warm season. And when I'm in Florida, which is always the warm season. So yeah, I went for that run yesterday afternoon. It's nice. I woke up this morning. It's nice outside. The forecast says it's going to be nice with no clouds basically until about 5 p.m. My flight leaves at 10 tonight. I'm going to head to the airport around 7 because JFK is a journey. JFK is a journey. I might even leave before then because I'm going by myself. Before I was worried, hold on, I might be covering my mic. I definitely got sunblock all over it. Before I was worried because one of my friends is on the same flight as me that's going to Paris. And I'm like, she travels all the time and I do not. I do not. Like not nearly as much as she does. And I'm like, I am going to get there early in the morning. Not early. I just want to get there because it's not like I'm doing anything else. And JFK is just such a mess. And it just takes so long to get through JFK. I just don't want to press time when it's like, what am I doing at home that I would be waiting to go to the airport to be like, oh, I'm late now. No, that's silly to me. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to try to get there at 8. Flight boards at 9:20, I think it is. So leaving here late 6, 7 o'clock, maybe earlier. I can't make any promises. Once I'm ready to go, I'm about to go. And no earlier than 6 though, because it's so nice outside. I do want to enjoy outside. And I know Paris is about to be so hot and the sun doesn't go down until 10 o'clock at night and all that good stuff, but it is what it is. I am very sun motivated, and when the sun doesn't shine for days, I just don't feel great. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get a latte. I might stop at La Apartment 4F, the bakery, and then get some breakfast at RH Guest House because I love it and they're perfect there. And it'll be my last American breakfast for a couple of days as I'm having French breakfast and lunch and dinner and enjoying all the Parisian goodness. I am going to go to some American places while I'm there. I want to go to Siddell's at the Kith there, and just even if I can just see it, hopefully there's not a crazy line or anything. If there is, you know me, I'm about right on out. I will leave you to it. But Siddell's Arabica, a percentage Arabica. I just call it Arabica. I hear people call it percentage Arabica. I just call it Arabica. There's an Arabica in Paris, and I've got my friends that live there to go. So I'm like, we have to go get coffee there. And yeah, all the good things. A couple of euros for a bottle of wine and popping into a cafe to grab a croissant or a steak frite or I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of leeks and endive and butter. That's what the French got right. Butter. That's truly what the French got right. Butter. Butter. That's the secret. Butter. Yes, technique. Yes, technique. Yes, great ingredients. Also, salted butter and salt. Good salt. So yeah. All right, I'm going to head out and get into the sun. I'll take y'all with me. All right, you guys, I made it to the village, and I must say, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I walk up to the apartment 4F. Someone's dropped their gold Amex on the ground. What do? Whose card is this? Whose card is this? Literally saved someone's life this morning, right? Get to the counter. The person serving me has croissant on their face. Oh my gosh, girl, you have a little something right there. Helped her out, saved her life. You gotta look out for one another, you know? And she gave me some extra cookies. So I'm feeling fantastic, feeling on top of the world. It's always worth it to be a decent person and to have that inclination, you know? I've always felt that. But yeah, feeling on top of the world. I got my coffee. I just got a latte from a little apartment 4F. I made a reservation for our guest house that I'm likely going to be early for. And yeah, about to have a good breakfast. I got some pastries, got a little sweet treat for after breakfast. I'm not gonna have my cookie yet because honestly, if I have sugar first thing in the morning like that, it's just gonna give me a tummy ache. And also have fats, fibers, and proteins first in the morning and then have a sweet treat. Don't miss out on the sweet treat. Just reorder the sweet treat, okay? Finally made it to Paris. In the room, the place is super cute. I'm about to head out for some dinner and drinks. I just did a little refresh. I've been looking crazy all day and finally glad to be settled and about to go out and eat and drink. I'm ready for some good wine and some good food and some good company. I need this time off. This is the cutest. Oh, there's a little moss in here and everything. This is like so cute. Look at this. All right, we're about to head out in just a few minutes. The rest of this first day really just blew by. I could tell by how I didn't really have a lot of vlog footage from that afternoon, but long story short, we went out and met friends for drinks and dinner and had a phenomenal meal. We were staying in the 13th arrondissement, like kind of between the 5th and the 13th. But that night blew by. We had a great dinner, had a really good time. I got to introduce two of my friends that hadn't met before, which is always fun and great, and they hit it off. And then the next morning, got up, checked out the buffet in the hotel, and then I took a little walk down the street because a cute little Parisian walk, what's better? There was a street market where there was some secondhand stuff, including some great records. As I was on my way to a coffee shop that my friends recommended to me, they know I'm a big coffee person, they love coffee shops, so they recommended a cute little mom and pop coffee shop that I went in. They actually had some beans that I was familiar with, so some coffee that I was familiar with that they were roasting and brewing rather, and I grabbed some before we headed out for the day. One place I knew I wanted to visit when I came to Paris and I had to visit was Le Maurice, and they have a couple different restaurant concepts there. We had a reservation at Le Dali for a nice lunch. It was everything I could have imagined and more. It was stunning. And we also saw something that you all might be familiar with, which is the lime for Cedric Grolet. He's the pastry chef there, and you might see him on Instagram doing like all of these great molds and really impressive pastry work. And we got the mango, and it was delicious. Very much what we expected. And then I gotta do a video for TikTok. To us. To us. But we gotta do it faster. Very gently. To us.
I'm gonna take this phone
Oh,
for a picture of you.
oh, we can do a picture. Yes,
Thank you.
God, I love her.
That's
Thank you so
so
much.
nice.
He was like, Barbara,
Barbara, chat it up. Barbara, Teddy. Yes. He was talking about Barbara Bush. As you would imagine, with me going to see Beyonce all the way in Paris, I'm a big Beyonce fan, also a big Jay-Z fan. And part of me wanting to go to Little Maurice was they used to stay there, and Jay-Z's also rapped about it, and it's also just a really great hospitality concept, and I cannot wait to stay in one. I must stay in one of the Dorchester collection, and if I had my choice, it would definitely be Le Maurice first. So it was really nice to actually pop in there. And then after that, we were looking to go to Agent Provocateur and Frederick Mall right on Rue Saint-Honoré where all the shops are. And lo and behold, they were literally next door to each other. I was like, this is my Mecca. This is perfect.
She really is. You just made her whole life. It's from all of us. We planned the whole thing. It's your Christmas.
So after the concert day was out of the way, the rest of the trip was really spent hanging out with my friends and having some really great food. I'm a big foodie. I even hate to use the word foodie, but I'm a lover of food and wine and spirits, and I know that Paris has a lot to offer. I mean, look at the spread. Escargot, frog legs, foie pate. There were some things that I knew I definitely wanted to have before I left Paris and wanted to find, and I feel like we found all of them. We did take a walk in the Jardins des Tuileries on our way to another spot, and we saw the Louvre, saw the pyramid. I didn't want to spend a bunch of time being in the Louvre, so I'll do that on my next trip. We went to another restaurant for dinner, had some really good caviar. I had Dover sole, which is another thing I wanted to get while I was there. I also got souffle, which is another thing that I wanted to get while I was there. Had some really good wine and enjoyed dinner. As a New Yorker, I really enjoyed just walking around Paris. Yasmin always says, all the big cities are trying to be New York, and New York is just trying to be Paris. And I'm like, you know what? She might not be wrong about that. I really loved it. I'm not at no risk for moving. I love my dirty little New York City, but it was lovely to just be able to walk, hang out. I actually went into Le Bon Marché to get the butter that everybody talks about because I'm always cooking and using really good butter, so I had to try that. And then my friend's husband took me wine shopping, which was so nice. Just took me to a place to find some of the really great stuff that I would be looking for. And I must say, this place is 100% going to be on my restaurant reservation list the next time I go to Paris. Look at this collection, and just the interior and the back where the restaurant is insane as well. On our last night there, we had reservations for Crazy Horse Paris, also inspired by Beyonce. If you've seen the Partition video, you know what I'm talking about. So we got dressed up and went to a show at Crazy Horse and very much enjoyed it. But the Agent Provocateur saleswoman told us about some really great other shows that we could check out next time that we're there, whether it's like burlesque or just like dinner and a show that we could check out.
Alrighty, hello and welcome back. I am back from Paris. I've been back since Tuesday. It's now Sunday, June 29th, almost to the end of the month. And I got back late on Tuesday, which was strategic. I tried to think about the time difference in planning my flights, and I highly suggest this. So when I was going to Paris, I took a red eye so that I could just sleep. So like it left at like 10, it was supposed to leave at like 10, but I got some extra air miles because it did not. We took off closer to 1 a.m. Eastern time, and then we landed, it was supposed to be noon, but it was like 1 something there in Paris. But I was like, I still had to stay up for the rest of the day, and that made more sense because I had been sleeping on the flight right? I still kind of felt the difference of it until the following day, but then once we kind of got on a program, I felt good by the time we were leaving. And then on my way back, I took a early afternoon flight. So when I got back to the States, it was later in the afternoon, but not like the middle of the night or early in the morning where I'd have to like keep going. Still long days both ways, but on my sleep cycle, it's kind of helps me not suffer and have as much jet lag on either end. But I will say, since I've been back, my first day back, I did feel tired on Wednesday, which I think is just inevitable. I have been going and had a long, eventful weekend. What is this little piece of hair? And like, what do you want from me? You know? Jeez Louise, whatever. Wednesday, I was a little bit tired. And for some reason, every morning I've been waking up at 3 a.m., like 3:30. That's going to have to stop. Either way, I wanted to get on here to catch you all up, chit chat, wrap up this vlog, but also before I put them away, show you all the things that I brought back as like my souvenirs and things from Paris, because they've been out long enough. I have another trip coming up, which is I try not to travel so close together. I like to be in my routine. I've created a life that I love at home, like being in my house. And if I'm going to pop out on a trip, I like to like have plenty of time to comfortably prepare, enjoy the time that I'm there, have time to comfortably settle back into life and back into my routine when I get back. And this is just unusual because I only have 10 days in between traveling. I did something similar last year after my friend's wedding and when my sister was traveling to a wedding. So I was like going to a wedding out of the country and then going to South Florida to keep my nephews, which I'm doing at the end of this month too. So that was the last time I did that, but this is like another 10 days in between leaving Paris and going to New Orleans for Essence Fest, which I'm doing on Friday for 4th of July weekend, which is going to be exciting. But all in all, I'm enjoying spending time with my friends and getting these trips under my belt. And I think this is like my 6th or 7th time going to Essence Festival, and it's going to be really fun. So I'm looking forward to it. But before we get to that, let's see what we got in Paris and talk about it. So first up, this coffee table book from Frederick Malle. If you watch my fragrance content or you hear me talk about fragrance and stuff, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Frederick Malle. I don't know if this is all in French, but it might just be. This is The Art of Fragrance from Frederick Malle. And it's a coffee table book that they used to sell that apparently they don't anymore, but they had a bunch in the store. I think I've already included the clip of like me sitting in the store, looking through one of the coffee table books and them offering it to me. But basically, I've been wearing Frederick Malle for years. I want to say 10 years at this point. I've evangelized it to anybody that will listen to me. If you're into fragrance and we've talked about it, I've talked about Frederick Malle. I think the brands that I kind of push people towards the most are usually like Frederick Malle, Fugia, because I feel like more people are hip to Frederick Malle now, but now I feel like Fugia, I really love some of the stuff that they make, and I'm like, people don't even know about this. I need to tell them. So yeah, I love Frederick Malle, and one of like my signature fragrances for years was Promise, and I still wear it quite a bit. And make sure I always have it in my collection. And then Carnal Flower, Portrait of a Lady are some of their other popular fragrances. And they used to carry a Dries Van Noten fragrance that no longer exists because Dries Van Noten now has a line with another brand. Either way, we were talking, having such a great time in the boutique, and the salespeople were like, do you have big luggage? You can take this with you. And me and my boyfriend have been really into coffee table books. I've always been into coffee table books. I'm looking down because I don't have a coffee table in my living room right now, but I have coffee table books from like Alexandria McQueen's Savage Beauty. I have a Kehinde Wiley. I have Lena Iris Victor. I also have the On the Run tour book that I like. That's really beautiful if you fold it out. And then some other stuff, some Basquiat, and these are like more like books, less coffee table books. But now I have this, so I'm really excited about that, and it was free. Like, that was awesome. Another thing I brought back were just, I love Paris slippers that were in the hotel. I was like, I should bring them back and give them to someone, but they're kind of cheapy, so I'm like, I don't want to give them away. But they were part of our hotel, like they gave them away in the hotel, so I wanted to bring some back. They were super cute. Also brought back some coffee, some DAC coffee. This is the glazed figs. This was roasted on the 22nd of May. I usually try to find roast dates that are like closer, but I was just excited when I went to this coffee shop. My friend Shasa, who lives there, actually told me about this coffee shop that was like maybe like a 8-minute walk away from my hotel. And I went, and it was so darling and great, and they had such a good variety, and they were roasting this coffee that I'm familiar with. And I can get in the States. I can literally get this down the street at Dayglow. But there was something special about buying it from them and like kind of being part of the demand for this type of specialty coffee in a place like Paris and at a little mom and pop shop, you know, of all places, because this is all they had in terms of beans. So I wanted to bring this back, and I'll be brewing this in my lattes in the coming week or so. Yeah, because I'm about done with the Dayglow that I have ground already. So DAC glazed figs from Nyamasheke. I think it's Nyamasheke, Rwanda. Purple grapes, figs, and macadamia. Sounds delicious. So, and it says espresso too. So I will ground that and be roasting that in my lattes, which are a journey right now because it's a muscle that you have to use and a technique that you have to keep doing to get the latte art. And I've not gotten 100% back into my rhythm yet, but I'm going to keep with it. Okay. So next thing is different flavored potato chips. So these are Lay's variety pack poulet rôti, which is the rotisserie chicken, I believe, barbecue, and then Emmental, which I think is just some type of cheese. I brought those back to take to Florida later this month to give to my nephews and like just do a little tasting with them. My younger nephew has an allergy, so we have to be sensitive on what we bring back. So like chocolates and things were not great to bring back. And they're also just little boys, and I don't know what they would care about from Paris. You know, maybe if I went to like Lego Store Paris or something like that. So I was like not too concerned with it. And then I also got a Roland Garros shirt for my brother-in-law. He's into tennis. He plays tennis, watches tennis. I like tennis as well, but I'm not playing just yet. But I was in the airport and Roland Garros just finished. Shout out to Coco Golf, who won for the women's individuals, women's singles, I think it was, whatever. Wimbledon's happening now, okay? And we have the Hill here in New York, so hopefully I can go to that. But either way, they had Roland Garros shirts. So I was like, maybe he'll like a Roland Garros shirt. So I got him a Roland Garros shirt from the airport. And I don't know if you realize, but I went to a Beyoncé concert. So one thing that I've been wanting since the Renaissance tour is one of these fans, okay? And they were sold out online. I didn't get one at the tour. I don't even think they had them in the merch things at the tour because they kept selling out, and I was really glad to get one. So I got myself one and I got my sister one. If my mom wants one, she's literally at the Beyoncé concert today, so she will be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What does this say? Oh, this is a Cowboy Carter one. I wanted to do that at the concert. So I got one of those for my sister. I mean, they also are really good fans. So I can take this to Essence with me if I want to just like, yeah, very nice. So I got that at the concert. All right, let's get into some more things. I also brought back my Cowboy Carter, wristband. So while we were there, we went to Le Maurice. We dined at Le Dali, which is named after Salvador Dali. I realized once we got there, I was like, how is that not terribly obvious to me? And even their little condiment said Le Maurice, so I brought them back. I sure did. And when I told her, I said, I took the other two. She said, do you need another one? Are they open? Like, I'll bring you a fresh one, girl. Our servers were, like, the service there was outstanding. Very soigné service. Very top tier service, so I was very happy with that. Something else I could get here, but I just bought it while I was there, is a little hazelnut chocolate spread. It's kind of like a Nutella, but this is like a really good brand. I could get this in like an Italy or some specialty shops in the States, but it was only a couple euros there, and I wanted to bring it back. I was trying to find the pistachio one because it's hard to find, but this is the hazelnut and chocolate one, and this is like the milky one. Super unctuous, and it's all in French. I love that. Okay. Also at the same market that I got that, I got this rosé. I wish I would have gotten another one. So this is Corsican rosé, and I got this. This was not expensive at all. I think this was like €6. But I got it because it's so hard to find in the States. And that's really what I was looking for when it comes to wine while I was in France, is things that I couldn't get in the States that I really like. And this is one of those things. So there's another brand that makes the same grape, which is Niolichu, and a rosé from Corsica. And I loved it. And it got really hard to find a couple of years ago. I could usually only find it in New York. And then it just got impossible to find. But I saw it literally just in the grocery store there. And I was like, this is going to be really good rosé. So I'm really glad that I got this. It's a little half bottle. Like I said, it's like €6. It's nothing. And it's more, like I said, about like finding a grape and a style that I know that I like, that I can't get here in the States, and being able to have that. So happy I got this. Also got some cigars. My boyfriend and I have been bringing back cigars on trips. Last year when I went to my friend's wedding in DR, I brought us back cigars. Recently, he went to the Caribbean and brought us back cigars. And then I walked into this store because I saw cigars and I was like, this looks legit. Let me pop in here, because we were over near the Louvre. I think the place is called à la Civette, and I have to recommend them if you're in Paris looking for cigars and cigar supplies and things, and just a really good experience and service. And I think they have like liquors in there too. I think they have spirits in there as well. And he even gave me the little preserver stuff. I was like, give me one of those. I need that too, because I need to put these away. They're out now still because I was waiting to show you all the stuff. So it's literally been sitting here together before I put it away. But basically, the story goes, we were leaving one place to go to another place. I told my mom when she called me, she's like, where are you guys going? I was like, we're going to eat before we go to eat. So Yaz and I were walking near the Louvre, and we walked onto this, stumbled onto this place. And it was like $6.59. I walk in, I was like, we got to go in. I need to get us some cigars. And the guy was like, we're about to close in 1 minute, basically. He said it in French, but I got it. I really got to practice my French, you guys. It wasn't terrible. It was not fluent at all. It was very much a couple phrases here and there. But like, I'm glad I had the confidence to like say what I know and try and be wrong. And even when people were speaking to me in English, I'll go from English to the little French phrase that I do know and then go back to English, and people were fine with it. And I got some compliments as well. So yeah, I walked in, he was like, we're closing in 1 minute. I was like, oh my gosh, I'll be so fast. And then I just told him the price range I wanted for one stick. And I was like, okay, a stick around this, like a couple sticks around this range that you think are really good, that you would recommend. Because I was like, can I take some Cubans? And he was like, your president is not having that. You may not take those back to the States. And I was like, heard. Don't want to be in any trouble at customs. So I got, these are from, I think one is from, oh my gosh, I don't remember where these are from. But I got two different kinds, 2 different sticks of each. So we have some cigars brought back from Paris. And I think that was a good choice. Okay, and then on my second to last day, my friend's husband took me wine shopping at a beautiful wine shop and restaurant called Le Grand Filles et Filles, whatever, this place. And number one, look at how they wrapped this up for me, knowing that I was traveling. How nice is that? I didn't have to worry about like wrapping clothes or anything around it in order to get it home, which I really appreciated. So I got 2 bottles. I got a bottle of Beaujolais, Cru Beaujolais, a Fleury from a producer that I'd never seen before. And then I got a Saint-Emilion Grand Cru 2019 vintage from a producer that I'd never seen before, but I know I like this grape, this region, and we checked on this vintage. So I was like, I think this will be good. And then I know I like this region and this sub-region, this cru, this sub-appellation of this region and this grape. So I went ahead and chose this. And then also price was factored into it too. So I would love to have brought more wine and like some grower champagnes and some, you know, really good Bordeaux and things of that sort, maybe some white Burgundy and things. But I did not have as much room, and I spent so much money while we were there. So I'm happy with these 2, and I think they're going to be delicious. I'll unwrap them and show you all maybe later. But yeah, and then I brought back a little bag that I bought from the grocery store, Monop. So Monoprix, there's Monoprix, Monop, Famprix, fen something, all those things. And yeah, un sac. So that's what I brought back from Paris. I wanted to show you all that. And I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog today. It's Pride in New York. I have a couple errands to run, and I'm going to get back into the swing of things, start a new vlog tomorrow as we get ready to head to New Orleans on Friday. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, thanks so much for hanging with me through that segment, and we'll chat soon.